Hey, this is Val Selby, and after over 20 years online, I can track where my mindset has blocked me. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then Val Full Volume is here to help you see choices you are making. Get ready to use your expertise to collaborate like a pro as you create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone. So I've got a guest on today that I'm excited to bring her to you because Tracy and I have already had some conversations prior to this, which is not my normal for a podcast guest. And as we were talking, it was like, oh, yes, she definitely has to come on the podcast, share her expertise, bring it to you so that, well, I'm not going to ruin it by talking about it already before we talk about it. No squirrels. So, thank you, Tracy, for being here. I am obviously excited to have this conversation with you.
Thanks. Thank you so much for having me, Val. When we first talked, I was like, oh, she is somebody that I could have coffee with and we would be there for 3 hours.
Exactly. Yes. I miss that so much. I am ready to do some live events and just do those entrepreneur after hours and just be chilling and having coffee or having wine and free flowing the brainstorming. Yeah, I'm craving that right now.
I know. I do miss it. Although, you can't always spend 3 hours in a coffee house.
I know.
But every now and then it's fine.
Exactly. And it's been a few years, so I'm pretty sure I'm due a few, right?
Yes, for sure. Yes, I agree.
So Tracy, if you don't mind, would you tell my listeners what you would like them to know about yourself?
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Tracy Beavers, and I am a business and sales coach from Arkansas. I'm sure you can hear my accent. I, over the years, have honed in my expertise. People call me a visibility and email list growth strategist. And so that's been really exciting, helping online entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses with ease, with a focus of getting them highly visible so their email lists grow, so their income grows. And outside of that, I am a wife and a mom. I'm a dog mom. My husband, John, and I have been married. Oh my gosh, we've been together 16 years, married for 13. And our kids are his kids. Our daughter, Emily, is 24. She's a police officer here in our city. And she's about to buy her first house. I'm so proud of her. And then Jack is 20, and he is a sophomore at St. Louis University, currently studying in Madrid, Spain this semester.
That's amazing.
At their campus over there. And we're going to go over spring break and see him in Spain.
Yay.
So yeah. And then the only child I have left at the house is our dog, Patton, who is our sweet baby yellow Labrador. Not baby, but baby to me. But our yellow Labrador that if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see him a lot, primarily because he's the only one in the house that lets me take his picture anymore.
Right. I know. I warned the kids. I'm like, okay, so I just have to let you know that I really have no pictures of you because when we get together, because they're adults now too, and when we get together, I'm just in the moment with no phone. Yeah. But I've got plenty of dog pictures all over. Right. Oh, how do you want them posed? I've got a picture of it.
All right, me too. Every imaginable pose with Patton. So.
Yeah. Real quick, I caught something that you said when you said that people call you the visibility coach.
Yeah.
Did you know that that's what you were doing for your expertise, or did you realize it because they started talking to you about it?
That's a great question. I think it happened soon after. So I entered into online coaching as a business and sales coach. And you know how our craft gets honed in and it evolves over time. And so over and over and over again, I had people saying to me, I feel invisible. I don't have any list growth, and we all know how important the email list is. And so I decided then to change some of the wording specifically for the marketing of my 8-week group coaching program, which is all about visibility and email list growth, to make it that instead of just visibility, putting on the email list growth part. And then because of what I call my marketing machine that I've built, which is all the strategies I teach for visibility, layered together, build a marketing machine that does your visibility and your sales for you. Because I've got that built, people started saying to me, you're everywhere. I see you everywhere. So now they do call me that.
Yeah.
And at first I called myself that, and I used those words and that marketing, but then it started to switch. In fact, one of my students said, But she was talking about joining my program last October, and she was so thankful she did. And she's like, "How can I not join your program? You're the queen of visibility." And I thought, okay, I'm doing something right,
Right. Yes, for
like, okay,
sure.
yay, yay.
For
Yeah.
sure. I
So,
just was curious because I spent so long going, oh my gosh, what is my zone of genius?
right.
And I didn't really get it until other people started mentioning, oh, well, I
Yeah.
come for you for this. I come to you for
Oh, you
this.
know what? That did happen in the beginning though, because when I was still in corporate and I was completely fed up and determined to leave, I was in a women's mastermind and I was like, I just had enough of the job, da 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 da. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do next. And they said, well, you should be, you should look into online coaching. And at the time I was like, what the heck's that?
Right.
This was a little while ago. And they said, what do people come to you all the time for? They come to you for sales and marketing, because that's true for me. Over
Mhm.
20 years of experience in business growth, business development, sales, marketing in the corporate sector,
Mhm.
people were always coming to me saying, how are you so successful in sales? How are you so comfortable in sales? How can you speak to a room full of 1,000 people and not pass out? And all of these things that I found super easy to do. And I
Uh-huh.
just thought everybody else was good at. And turns out they're not. And
Right.
so that is how I got started, though. People pointed out to me that I had these gifts and talents. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's what got me into business and sales coaching.
Awesome. Yeah, I love to bring that up because everybody listening, I know exactly what Tracy just said. You've heard me say it before because I had the exact same issue. It's that thing you don't know that you do.
Yep. Exactly.
For
Yep.
me, it was collaborations and
Uh-huh.
networking because somebody would
Yeah.
say something and I'm like, oh, I've got 3 people I will
Uh-huh.
connect you with that are perfect for
Yes.
this. And it's like, oh, not everybody does that. What do you mean? Not everybody
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
does
I love networking and connecting people. I find myself doing that too, though. It's really fun, though, to help other people and find out, okay,
Yeah.
who are you looking for? Who do you need? Like
Yeah.
before I got in the online space, I was the person people will call and go, okay, I know you have a good plumber. Okay, I know
Right.
you know a good electrician. Okay, I know whatever you need. I got a guy.
Yep.
They say,
Yes.
Tracy's got a guy. Here
Yep.
you go. Yeah. Or they
Yeah,
call
that
me
was
and
the
go,
thing too.
yeah,
It was offline as well. I mean, I've just
yeah,
always done it, like as far
for
back
sure.
as I can remember, even with friends. They're like, "Oh yeah, you want to go play, soccer or something?" Okay, well, I've got 4 people.
Yeah,
We'll connect and we'll make it happen.
yeah.
So yeah, it's totally that thing that you don't even recognize, which can be frustrating because now if you're trying to figure it out, now you're going, "What do I do? This is so easy."
Right.
Just let
Yeah.
it organically happen. Just
Well, and
start
ask
doing
some people
stuff.
that are close to you,
Hmm.
and start paying attention to the questions people ask you and what people come to you for.
Hmm.
That's going to be a big, big clue because it may not be anything you're thinking about
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need, because again, you don't realize you're doing it
Mm-mm.
for one thing and you help them quickly. So
Yeah. It
it's
feels
not a
like
thing.
it's one of those things that whatever feels easy to you and like you're just like, it's just like breathing.
Mhm.
And it would surprise you to know that not everybody's good at that.
Yeah.
Like sales, I'm like, what do you mean people aren't good at sales? What do you mean it makes them uncomfortable?
Right.
And because it was just, natural for me.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. So you're in the visibility, which I love visibility, but in your app that you gave me, your guest intake, and you
Uh-huh.
talked about the fact that your email list is 3,000, which a lot of
Hmm.
people are like, yes, I mean, would be excited to hit 3,000, but the
Hmm.
income you're making with
Hmm.
it is a smaller list.
It
And I
is a smaller list.
love that. I
Yeah,
love that because your
they
list must be super engaged.
they are. Yeah, they are. So what Val's referring to is I have busted through the six-figure mark in my second full year of business online, well past six figures. But when you look at the size of my list, there is a disconnect there. It's like, okay, hold on. She's making that much money with a list of just over 3,000 people. And I have been shy about, I would either share that I had 3,000 people on my list, or I would share that I've busted through the six-figure mark in my second full year of business. But I wasn't putting those two things together in the same sentence because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want people to think that I wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like those two things just kind of don't match. You know what I mean?
But they don't
But then,
match because it's that bullshit that we've been told for how many years?
That's
It's
true.
it's that uncoaching that I've been working so hard on for myself and my clients.
Yeah,
We
that's
have to
a
have a
really good
list
point.
of 100,000 to make,
No,
six
we don't.
figures.
No, that's a
No.
really good point. Yeah, because I've heard stories of people that have smaller lists than mine
Yeah.
that have five-figure launches and are doing really
Right.
well. So yeah, it is the BS that we tell ourselves. You're right. I
And
need
I mean, and you're talking about it, and I can feel it because I feel it with my list. I consider my list still small because I think it's about 2,500 is what my list is
uh-huh.
at.
Yeah.
And,
But I
and
bet
you
they're
know,
dialed in.
yeah, and I have another list of 1,800 that's completely dialed in from my coaching website. And it's
Mhm.
like, why do I feel like I need to apologize that my list is only 2,500? It's like,
Yeah.
but what's
But
the
you know
income
what?
you're making from it? I mean, that's
Yeah.
powerful.
It is. And you're reminding me of something that I teach my clients and students, which is it's quality over quantity. Because
Hmm.
for the longest time, I said to myself, oh, I want to hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. I
Yep.
just need to get to 10,000. And I
Yep.
could never, the highest I ever got was like 4,600 or something.
Right.
And I finally just said to myself, okay, Tracy, but you could go try to attract all these people. I mean, for that matter, you can buy followers if you want
Yeah.
to. People do it.
Hmm.
But then I have to ask myself, are those people actually going to buy anything from me?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got 10,000 followers, but what kind of money are you making?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
That's,
had that list before because that was like a few years ago. It was my goal. I set that goal of 5,000. I want my list over 5,000 because
mhm.
I know why. Because there was some events that I
Mhm.
wanted to participate in, and you had to have a
Yes.
list of over
Yes.
5,000. And since I've managed so many people's events, I'm looking at these people with lists of 20, 30, 120,000.
Mhm.
I had some big person with 50,000. I know she makes a ton of money. And that, when I was managing it, her list of 50,000 brought in
Mhm.
45 signups on a giveaway.
No way.
45. And that was the immediate switch of who cares about getting that
Mhm.
5,000? Because that
Yeah.
5,000 means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that. It hurts my heart. I know why people do it. I know when somebody puts together a summit or a bundle or a speaking, or something that they want people that have big lists. I
Mhm.
get it. But like before my list grew to over 3,000, back when it was still around 1,200, I've got a really dialed in list.
Mhm.
And I'm a really, really good coach. It's hard for me to say that out loud. I'm really darn good at what I do.
Good.
And so I would go to apply to these summits knowing darn well I could make a difference and reach
Yeah.
people. And what I had is what they needed, but I couldn't even apply because my list wasn't the right size. And I would just
Right.
would be like, well, you just made a mistake.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say to the summit organizer. Okay, well, you just made a mistake
Yeah.
because I can't even apply to be at your summit. And yet I'm the person people want to hear from,
Right.
which
Yeah.
again, that's really hard for me to say, but I have so many people that say to me, Tracy, I wish I'd found you first. I wish
Hmm.
I found you and your program first before
Yeah.
they went out and spent money on all kinds of things that didn't do anything for them. Stuff
Hmm.
they bought from people with big names that didn't move the needle for them in business.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it is, I mean, as somebody that manages so many events, it is a hard, sticky spot of how many people, and all of that. And I
Yeah.
have a rhyme and reason for why I do have my list size of 2,500 for that. But
Right.
but that's come because I've been doing this since 2018, and I've totally lost count of how many. I'm not even counting anymore of how many events I've done. So it's like it's honed in. It's the
Yeah.
experience and honed in. But I do know for a fact that some of those lists that are smaller, those people are hungry.
Yeah. They are. Well, they're highly engaged. They pay
Yeah.
attention to the person that's emailing them and they trust. There's a know, like, and trust there.
Hmm.
There's a connection there that is not present with some of these larger lists or larger followings.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've lost that connection, lost that touch a little bit. And definitely we're not talking about everybody, but it's, in general, that is what we are seeing happening because we're on those lists.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a ton of those lists that I'm on where I know that I know their list size. And I'm like, I don't feel like they're talking to me,
Mm-mm.
you
No.
know, versus some of the other people I follow that I, know their lists are a lot smaller. And and I replied back, so is this from a conversation that we had, 2 weeks ago? She's
Right.
like, no. I'm like, are you sure? Like, because I swear you wrote that right to me.
Right. You hit me between the eyes with that one.
Nailed it. So I like the fact that you've also said that you've been growing it organically. And I don't want you to obviously go into a ton of that because that's a whole workshop I'm sure that you have. I'm sure that's all
Right.
about your visibility. But I loved the fact that you're saying without creating yet another free lead magnet.
Exactly. When I started out, I knew that I needed an email list and I looked at list building courses and they all, and to this day, they all do two things. They tell you to identify your ideal client and create a free lead magnet to put out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And those two things are very important. We
Yeah.
have to do those things. Those are foundational. But I did those things. And if one more person told me to create yet another free lead magnet, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was
Right.
like, I can't, you know what I mean? I had two or three good ones. They were converting. The list was growing, but it wasn't growing fast enough for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I tried paid ads as a strategy a few years ago, and I wasted thousands of dollars. I might as well have just piled up my money and set it on fire.
Right.
Because
Oh.
so I thought, okay, paid ads are not my thing. I'm not trying that again.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, I've already got the ideal client figured out. I've got the lead magnets figured out. Those are converting. There has to be other things that I can do. And so that's where I kind of went back to my sales and marketing and business development days and just got really scrappy and creative and
Mm-hmm.
thought there are other ways to get visibility. And those are the strategies that I developed. I have
Nice.
10 different strategies. And when they are layered together in the way that I teach, they build that marketing machine that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because what people don't know is they have lots of leaks in their visibility right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of holes in what they're trying to build. But once we go through and we plug all those holes and we plug the leaks, that's where the visibility just gets dialed up like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm meeting with a coach actually at the end of this week because I know my podcast has so many leaks that it's like, it's a total sieve right now. I'm sure. It's like, you
Oh,
started this
hilarious.
thing for marketing, but what are you doing to use it? You know,
Right, right. Exactly. Yep.
need to do more than just get on here and have fun and talk.
Right. Right.
Even though that's
Yes.
the easy part.
We need to make it grow your email list for sure. So make sure you and your coach talk about that.
Oh,
How can
yeah,
this
for
podcast grow
sure.
my email list?
For
Yes.
sure. So you talk about lead magnet. So what do you have in place to bring? Because I definitely want people to come and hang out with you because I'm sure that you just nailed it for quite a few people, especially in my community. You nailed it for quite a few people because they're like, what? We can make money and not have 400,000 people on our list. What are you talking about?
Yep.
We don't need mass numbers. How can they get into working with you and find out just even more about you?
Yeah, I would love that. So I have a free Facebook group. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible and Grow Your Income. We have over 2,000 online entrepreneurs in there. And what sets my group apart from others is that it is a true community of support and kindness. A lot of Facebook groups that I've been in, people just sort of post and run, and nobody's paying any attention to what anybody else is doing.
Yeah.
But in my group, that's different. Everybody's allowed to promote themselves anytime. If you need feedback on something, if you're stuck in Canva and you're about to pull your hair out, you can post in my group and say, I'm stuck in Canva and I'm about to pull my hair out.
Somebody saved my computer.
Yeah, somebody help me before I throw this thing out the window, and do a screenshot of this is where I'm at. You know, can somebody help me? And somebody in that group, because the members are so dedicated and everybody wants to be in a community. They want to be there. They want to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Canva experts get to swoop in and showcase their skills. Or like somebody posted the other day about a podcast thing they were stuck on, some sort of editing or something or other. A podcast manager swooped in and was able to showcase their expertise by helping that person out. Not to sell them anything, but just to be of service and to help each other.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun group. I absolutely love it. And then also a really great lead magnet that I have, a freebie that I have that converts really, really well, is my social media content made easy guide. And it helps you create 90 days of social media content topics in only 30 minutes.
Oh, man.
They can grab that at tracybeavers.com/social and just go through the exercise and you will have content coming out your ears, and then you can repurpose it, and, just
Nice.
really takes the overwhelm out of, what am I going to post? What am I going to say? You're staring at the blank computer screen. Now with Chat GPT, it's easier. Back when I created this exercise, it was when I was building this alongside my full-time job. And this was the way that I saved my sanity on trying to create consistent content. And now with Chat GPT, oh my gosh, it makes it that much easier.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and then, of course, because you're all about the visibility. So, everybody, when you're getting her stuff, pay attention to, what she's saying and stuff. How is she engaging? How do you feel when you're getting her emails? And I don't know how I'm not in your community, because that community sounds exactly what I love.
I would love for you to be in
I
it.
will definitely be going to that, because I love an environment where you're just paying it forward.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm in there every Thursday at 11:30. I do a live training, or I bring in a guest expert, which I would love to have you, by the way. If you want to talk about bundles or, whatever it is, let's talk about that. But I bring in guest experts that teach a completely different thing than what I teach.
Yes.
So that I don't have to worry about teaching it. I just bring in the expert.
Yeah.
And then the expert gets to showcase their expertise and grow their audience through my audience. And then we do entrepreneurial inspiration interviews with the members. We pick a couple of one or two members a month and have them tell their story and,
nice.
The roller coaster that they've been on with their business, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly,
Fun.
all that stuff. And it's just really, I think the more we can have honest conversations about this entrepreneurship thing and how freaking hard it is every single day.
Yeah.
And honest conversations like you and I were having about, you can have 10,000 followers, but are those people buying anything from you? And then honest conversations about when somebody says that, it used to get on my last nerve, and people go, well, I had a 6-figure launch. And I always wanted to say, well, show me your P&L, because I want to see your expenses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe you earned $100,000 from your launch, but if you spent $90,000 to get that $100,000, then my business is actually more profitable than yours.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like there's all this.
The full story instead of just the grandiose of it all.
Yeah. I mean, if I see one more picture of somebody with a laptop on the beach, first of all, who takes their laptop to the beach? I mean, is that safe? I'm just like, call me an old woman, but I don't want to sit on the side of the pool with my laptop or sit on the beach with my laptop. First of all, you can't see the screen because of the sun. And I'm like, that kind of stuff, or walking onto the yacht or walking onto the jet. I'm just like, who are these people?
Right. Because if I made enough money, I sure as hell am not on that yacht working. Oh. No, I set it up so I don't have to work.
Right.
While I'm on the yacht.
And if I made that much money, I don't think that you'd see me.
Right.
I would be.
You did it.
Peace out, my brothers. Right. I'm going on my yacht. Right. Camera off. Right. I don't know. I got off on a tangent there.
No. I totally understand. It's been that whole uncoaching journey that I've been going on for quite a while, and working on helping, my clients uncoach as well. Because I mean, I've got 23 years of this old school crap that I've been told how we have to do business. You're talking about the lead magnets. I mean, we were taught to have 10, 15 lead magnets to come in.
Yeah.
You know what I wasn't taught? Have something to sell after that goddamn lead magnet actually brings people in. So here you got 10, 15 lead magnets. I have a whole list of people who are freebie seekers.
Right.
And I have nothing to sell them.
Right. And I'm wondering why they're not buying from me. Right. And then, exactly. I did a training about this a week or so ago. I'm like, I'm going to show you how to make money in your business right now. And it was basically like, do you have any offers? Or you have offers, but you don't think you have offers. That's happened.
Yes.
Or you've got the offers and they're great, but nobody knows about them.
Yeah.
Because you're not saying anything about them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. 10 to 15 lead magnets and nothing to sell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm always constantly talking about. Okay, we're working backwards.
Right. Let's make some money.
Yes, we're here to make money. That's the only reason we're here. It's the only reason to have a damn business is to make money. Yes, we love people. We want to help people.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel good. But I need money. Very
Yeah, we all
good.
do.
So
We all do. I wish I could do this for free. I really do.
yeah.
It would be an absolute blast, wouldn't it?
Honestly, I don't think so. I
Oh,
don't think it would be quite as fun. My mindset has been changing about money.
yeah.
And I think it's because I have done so much for free for all those
Yeah.
years as I
Yeah.
was, being told by people to do the wrong things or not the whole picture like you're
Yeah.
talking about. That I'm like, yeah, I'm over that. You know what I love? I love watching the money roll in
Yeah. Well,
to my
I
account
do
now.
too. I
So
do too. But I
yes.
think, there's just a bunch of stress that comes with it
Yeah.
sometimes too. It's like,
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh,
that's a
for
whole
sure. I
another
know. Tangent.
conversation.
Yeah. See, you squirreled with me. I knew this would be
Sorry.
great.
Yeah, this is
So
us
easy to
three
squirrel.
3 hours later on the podcast.
Exactly right.
This
Without
is how it
coffee or
happens.
wine, even. It's just water. So,
Yep.
is there anything that you'd like to leave my listeners with? One last thing, or
Oh, yeah. I say this every single week at the end of my live trainings. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard.
Mhm.
Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And the thing I want them to remember is they are not alone, and get into a community, and a community that truly can support you and have your back. Because if you're sitting there at your desk and you're staring at your laptop and you're like, why the heck am I doing this? I can't coach my way out of a paper sack. Nobody's going to hire me.
Yeah.
That's when a community can come up beside you and go, oh no, you're just having a bad day.
Yeah.
And we all have them, because it doesn't matter if somebody is just starting out or they're 15 years in and they're making
Mm-hmm.
$23 million a year. We
Yep.
all feel like that.
Yep.
So
Well,
that's the biggest thing I want them to hear from me today is you're not alone, and reach out to me, man. I'll cheer you
awesome.
on.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm not even going to comment on that one, except for if you go join her group, you will find me because I'm going there right now.
Awesome.
I can't believe that I wasn't a member of your group. It sounds
Yeah,
exactly
I'd love to
perfect
have
for
you.
me.
You will love it. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Tracy. I
Thank
know
you.
we could continue to talk forever and ever. So I'll probably have you on at a later date when we can talk about another piece
Perfect.
of this. But thanks so much for being here, Tracy.
Thank you, Val.